Today we are going to be covering the RAM-7 and what is the best class setup to use for the RAM-7. Now a lot of people are going to say that they have mixed feelings between the M4 and the RAM-7, and if you take a look at their stats, they are actually very closely similar. However, the edge actually goes to the RAM-7. First, let's go ahead and dive into the class setup that I do recommend for you to use on the RAM-7. So for the muzzle, I am rocking the monolithic suppressor. This is going to give you that sound suppression as well as that damage range. It gives you about an 8% increase to your damage range. I do like this because of that sound suppression, because I like to remain as stealthy as you possibly can. All right, so for the next attachment, I am running with the Forge Tac Eclipse. Now the reason why I'm running with the Forge Tac Eclipse is because it has the least amount of penalties when you're using the weapon. For example, if you're using the Ranger, yes, it does give you more damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control, but the cons of aim down, sight speed, as well as movement speed just are not worth it in my opinion, especially if you're playing multiplayer. Those penalties are actually going to cost you a lot of gunfights, and the damage range increase that you do get with the Ranger barrel is not that significant. All right, so for the next attachment, we are going to be running with the Commando foregrip. Now the rate of fire on the RAM-7 is very high. It's about 860 rounds per minute, which is a lot higher than the M4. Now the one thing that when you're firing this weapon, you're going to find that that recoil is going to be a little bit harder to control, but when you put on the Commando foregrip and you match it up with the Forge Tac Eclipse barrel, that actually makes this weapon a laser. So for the ammunition, I'm running with the 50 round magazines. By default, it has 30 rounds, which is honestly not enough in my opinion, especially in multiplayer. It's a lot more fast paced, so you're most likely going to come across a lot more enemies at the same time. So having 50 round mags definitely gives you that insurance needed that you don't need to reload your weapon. All right, so for the final attachment, we are running with the stippled grip tape. This is going to help us with that aim down sight speed as well as that sprint to fire speed. All right, so moving on to the rest of my setup. For the perks, I'm using EOD, Ghost, and Tracker as well. And for the lethal, I'm using C4 and Stim Shot. That's about it for the class setup. If you came here just for the class setup, make sure to consider leaving a like. It shows me that this is the kind of content that you actually like to see. And if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe for more Call of Duty content so you never miss another video. And join Turbo Nation today. Make it official. For the next portion of the video, I'm going to be breaking down a gameplay of me using this exact same class setup, and we're going to be playing on Shoot House. It's actually going to be a very interesting gameplay. It's going to show the importance of positioning, rotating around the spawns, because it does show the contrast between me actually putting that to use versus the opponent actually having a better advantage on me. So you do get to see contrasting sides in this gameplay. I will see you guys in the gameplay breakdown. Peace. All right, so here we are. We're playing on Shoot House. Now, if I spawn in from this area of the map, I pretty much like to push towards the left side here, and I'm going to pre-aim around this corner. And I'm going to take out enemies that like to push on this area. And then I'm going to take out this guy on the crate. And I'm just going to situate myself here for a little bit because it's the beginning of the match. I kind of want everything to unfold. I don't want to rush too blindly, especially it being Shoot House. It's a very fast-paced map. People spawn in ridiculously fast. So right now, I'm essentially gatekeeping the opponents. And whenever opponents pass by, I'm definitely going to take them out. So I wasn't able to get this guy. So I went ahead and threw my C4, and I'm making use of my lethals, seeing what I have, what tools that I have to use. And I'm also taking into consideration what's going on in that minimap. Teammate just died. So let's back it up really quickly here. So keep an eye on my teammate here. So he's in trouble. Red dot, signifying there's an enemy. And that converts into an easy kill for me because I already knew what to expect. So right here, originally, this is very interesting as well. So after I take out this guy, originally, I saw him right there in that corner. So what I want to do right now is I want to rush this guy because I see my teammate over here. He has obviously not killed my teammate, so that means that he may have missed him. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and push this guy. Now, last minute, he comes out of the corner, so that obviously surprises me, and I was able to get him with that drop shot mechanic. And that is exactly why you need to utilize different types of movement mechanics in games so that it will save your life in certain situations such as that. All right, so again, I want to rewind this part right here. So the reason why I'm turning my attention to this area right here is because I know that the spawns have flipped. I'm going to gatekeep them in this area right here, and I'm pretty much just going to patrol them as they come in from their spawn. Now, the reason why I do this is because I'm a solo player, and plus, it's much easier to manage when you know exactly where the enemies are coming in from. It's good intel, and at the same time, you don't have to worry about dying to random enemies who like to sit in those corners. So as you can see there, I put my munitions box down because, again, you are using the RAM-7, so the RAM-7 has that incredibly fast fire rate. You have to be conscious of that at all times, and you never want to get caught with no ammo in your reserve, especially on a small map. All right, so in this situation, right after I replenish my ammo, I take a look at that mini-map. I see that somebody is right there, so that's why my focus is in this direction right here to get ready for this gunfight. And my teammate just died, and this was actually just by chance that this guy appeared in front of me. I was actually originally gonna go for this guy right here in front of me, and he just, you know, it's just bad timing. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make the adjustment and go here. Now, the reason why I do this is because I know that the people that I just killed, I know that they are spawning in from here and they want to go ahead and kill me. So in order to prevent that from happening, I'm going to beat them to the spot. I'm essentially staying one step ahead of the enemy, and watch how I handle this situation. As you can see, that guy knew I was up here. So these people aren't dumb. You know, these people know exactly where I'm at. As you can see, there's his teammate. I'm waiting for him to make the first move. And me being in that corner, switching locations, makes me a lot more unpredictable. So now I have my advanced UAV. This makes things a lot easier for me. I'm just going to let them come to me at this point. And all I have to do is just pretty much adjust my location depending on where the enemy is at and what the advanced UAV is telling me. So again, as you can see, I'm pre-firing around those corners because I know exactly where the enemies are at, and I'm pretty much just trying to beat them in that gunfight before it even happens. So now I've got my white phosphorus. I like to call in my white phosphorus after I call in my advanced UAV, because when you call in that white phosphorus, it makes it incredibly hard to see where your enemies are coming in from. So when you call in that advanced UAV, you have the advantage because you can see clearly and where you need to go. So in this situation, you know, they're trying to push me right now. They're trying to get to this side of the map. So I'm just being patient because I know for a fact that they're just waiting in their spawn for me to pop around that corner. And this is a good example of being passive. You know, you have to learn when to be passive and when to notice when you can be aggressive. So I'm retreating here just a little bit because I know for a fact that they're going to try and rush me. And this guy actually got pretty lucky. You know, he caught me off guard. He spawned in from that part of the map, and he was able to cross through the middle and surprise me from behind, because my attention was pretty much in the enemy spawn at that point. Now, again, my attention is in this direction because this is where the enemies are spawning in from. Same rules apply. I'm doing the same exact thing. Unfortunately, this guy was in the corner, and that was the result of me not being able to kill that guy. And that's also an example of showing how people play in this game and why I like to run strategies, because when you run strategies, it serves a lot more consistent results versus just randomness when you're just running around the map trying to challenge everybody. There is no real direction when you're doing that. And plus, at the same time, it makes you an incredibly smart player because you're simply outplaying the opponents. You're not using any gun skill. You're just using a lot of intel to your advantage. Now, this guy that just killed me, take a look at my teammate on the minimap. So he dies. Instantly, I know to turn around, and there should be an enemy, and there he is. Unfortunately, he was really quick, and he was able to take me out, and that's why I didn't stand a chance in that gunfight. So I noticed that my teammate behind me died, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy out first. Now I'm gonna try to advance to this part of the map to try to get some high ground. I'm gonna try to establish that position once more so that I can control all the chaos that's happening. So now I'm in their spawn, and unfortunately they called in that missile on me, and you know, I just wasn't aware that the missile was actually going to drop on me. So here I am again. So every time I die, I always try to reset and try to gain control of the situation by establishing supreme position. And as you can see, I'm up here in this area. Now, if you take a look at where my teammates are on the minimap, they're all behind me right now. I'm gatekeeping the spawn area where the enemy team is coming in from. So that means that they have to go through me first before they can advance throughout the map. So that's like the whole other point of this video that I want you guys to understand. Now, of course, you're going to pick off people that are just head glitching there. They want to get their long shots or something like that. This was a really great flank, actually. And another reason why gatekeeping and separating yourself from your teammates is always a good idea. Now, of course, it's not going to be foolproof. You are going to die here and there, but nonetheless, most of the time, your results are going to be positive. So this guy, I completely miss him, and, you know, I just threw my C4 inadvertently there. That's why I wasn't able to get the kill. Now I'm going to turn my attention around, and that guy appears in my line of sight again, randomly. And here I pick up a really nice triple kill. And that's also another highlight of this video to show how powerful the RAM-7 actually can be. And in most cases, some people will argue that it's actually better than the M4. Alright, so again, I come over this wall, I take out that guy, I see a lot of gunfire coming over here, I notice those bullet tracers, make the adjustment and the connection, and I was able to take out that enemy. So again, I was taken out here, I wanted to go ahead and advance to the opposite side of the map because I don't want to stay with where my teammates are. They're getting absolutely destroyed. You will see in the final scoreboard how insanely unbalanced that the team matchmaking is. Here is where I'm trying to weather the situation. I'm still getting taken out here. Like I said earlier, you are going to see a series of deaths, and this is just the reality of Shoot House. If your positioning is not on point, you are going to be dying a lot. So here I was able to take out this guy. Now I'm thinking about pushing their spawn. I'm pre-aiming, and here I get caught up in a really dicey situation. And in that situation, I should not have pushed. I should have been a little bit more patient. But again, looking back on the footage, I did die to the VTOL, and that's probably why I decided to push. It's either I die by the VTOL and get no kills out of it, or I get some kills and die by the VTOL. So, you know, of course, I want to get more kills. So I'm pre-aiming around this corner because this is where the enemy team has been coming to me all along. So you also want to notice these patterns as well. How are the enemies playing? Are they playing aggressive? Because when enemies are playing aggressive, you want to let them just come to you. All right, so he just killed my teammate. So that's why I was pre-aiming around that corner. And that allowed me to get the easy kill because, of course, he didn't expect me to be there. So now I'm going to try to just make my way to the opposite side of the map. I figured, you know, that part of the map is not working out for me. I'm going to come up here, get a good vantage point of the middle area. I see that it's clear, and I'm going to quickly jump and make my way to the middle of the map here. Take out this guy. I heard his footsteps, so that's why I turned around right away. And that's why you got to use a headset if you want to have some sort of advantage over your opponents. And I knew this guy was coming, and as you can see, he shot my body. And this is where things got a little bit toxic, you know. I'm sweating. And I said, "Are you mad, bro?" You know? So I was like, okay, you want to play that way? You want to shoot my body? Maybe he's mad because I've killed him a lot in the beginning of the match. So anyways, you know, that's just the reality of my lobbies right there. You know, things do get a little sweaty here and there. And I like to get competitive as well. So easy kill for me right there. I see a guy pinging on the minimap, and I'm just waiting for him to pop out. I don't see that he's there, so I'm going to go ahead and make the advance. I see this guy up top. I take him out because of his bullet tracers. It was a dead giveaway where his positioning was. And this guy was just in their spawn, just pre-aiming with his sniper scope, so that's why I lost that gunfight there. So again, I'm pre-aiming here just to make sure he's not pushing. I throw that C4. I do get a hit marker, and I'm going to push this guy because I know he's up here, and unfortunately, the game ended. Now, I know this was a pretty messy gameplay. You know, you saw me going off in the beginning of the match, and I did get a lot of deaths towards the end. But that's also another point of why I want to show you guys this gameplay, is because it's really all about positioning. It's all about positioning. So we finished off with 41 kills, 18 deaths. I got a 2.28 ratio. Now, if you compare that KD ratio to the rest of my teammates, and a couple teammates actually left the game here, this was a pretty good KD ratio in my opinion as a solo player. Now, if you take a look at the enemy team, I mean, look how many people actually went positive. 43-32, 31-6, 25-14, 22-16. If you compare that to my team, how many people actually went positive here? Only one guy, he broke even here at a 1 KD, and I was pretty much carrying my team all by myself with 41 kills and still maintaining that high KD ratio. So that's the point of this video that I wanted to show, is that positioning really matters in this game. Instead of just, you know, running around the map aimlessly without any kind of strategy, then you're most likely not going to do well, and that's just the reality of it. If I'm able to get a 2.28 KD ratio as a solo player against these type of people, then it just proves that running a strategy is key in doing good in Call of Duty. So hope you guys learned something from this video. Drop a like if you did, and make sure to subscribe if you're new around here to make your way back to the channel so you never miss another video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. So what's going on, guys? If you guys are interested in watching me play live, my Twitch is in the description down below. Make sure to hit that follow button, and I hope to see you there. Peace.